There we go. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It's just having a few mic issues. But welcome. We are here for another LMP2 series on the Mon Ultimate. Another 45-minute series. So some familiarity here. But hopefully still some more fun races. Just getting sort of last little bit set up here before we run a little bit of practice. We've got just 12 minutes of practice before we get into our quali session. Yes, welcome. I've just realised I don't actually even have my wheel on. The unique thing about this series, something a little bit different about it, is car setup is fixed. We cannot change barely anything at all here. There's 3 things we can change. Some small things. But yeah, it is pretty locked in. And as such, let us get in practice. I'm alright, I'm a bit tired. So at the moment, didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Let's make our way out of pit lane. With 10 minutes left in the session. There is only one compound here. There is only the medium compound and the wets, of course, but it is not raining. So we will not need the wet tires, but we can change to wet tires if we didn't need to. So we come out for the pits, try and get the tires up to temperature now. Track is very warm. It's up at 41 degrees, so should get the tires up to temperature pretty decently. Just gotta let this car through. But yes, as with our previous Monday LMP2 series, we did about over a month ago now, I think was quite a while ago. We do need to fuel save if we want to finish this race with 0 stops. Our magic number for this race is 1.75 litres of fuel a lap, which is quite a hard task from the little bit of practice I've done. Still massively closing in as the car in front of us comes out of the pits. Barely leaves us any room on the outside there. Yeah, we're running the Bahrain Paddock circuit. Very short circuit, cutting from T3 to turn 10 of the full GP layout. little bit wide there. It's a very short laps around here, about 75 seconds. Car in front struggling quite a bit. And like on that lap we used about 1.82 litres. That's 0.07 litres too much, which means more lift and coasting. It's quite difficult to get your braking point perfect whenever you're lifting coasting so much. I'll try not to lock tires. That right-hander, the nice turn 4 of this track that cuts you through the circuit. Very tight, quite an awkward corner. Not a big fan of it, to be honest. I think we just prefer having the normal full layout of the circuit. Quite a few people struggling, it looks like. Practicing a pit entry there. 0.78, still too much. Now, the main reason I'm committing to a zero stop here is because, well, in that Monday series, it kind of seemed to be clearly the best way to go for all of the races. I don't know if that will be the case here at Bahrain Paddock. It does have a lot of straight, which might make it a bit more fuel thirsty than some of the other more regular tracks on Le Mans Ultimate. Trying to short shift a little bit too. So yeah, not long of practice left. Welcome, Dave Wood. Good to see you. Right, fuel this lap. 0.73, okay, that's where we need to be. Deep into T1 there. Car spun around here at turn 4. Got a car coming up behind us. Obviously not doing any fuel saving. It'll be interesting to see how many people do fuel save this race. I feel like it'll be quite split for the first time, and it'll be interesting to see just how close the strategies are at the end. Yeah, that lap was 0.76. Remember, we've got to save a little bit more for the formation lap too. And yeah, that is Spike the Dragon. Another car spun here, and Spike has managed to not avoid the spun car there. Despite the really high track temp, it has come down to 40 degrees now. The tyres are still a little bit cold. Just shows you how much of this track is dominated by straights. But bang on there. Cool tires at Bahrain, never. I mean, cool tires in the middle of the night, sure, when the track is only 15 degrees. Understandable. Cool tires, middle of the desert sun, when the track is at 40 degrees. That's blasphemous. Monday's race, your tires never went above 60. Blimey. And that was on the Grand Prix layout. Imagine if the track was that cold here now. Okay, we're getting the front left actually up to 81 degrees now. But yeah, 36 laps on the bottom left. That's the number we're looking for. The race, it will likely be. For mediums, it's 86. Yes, 85, 86, yeah. Softs is 78, or I also seen 81 the other day for soft tires. I don't know if that's something that changed with a recent update. And then hard tires are 96, I believe. I think I've also seen mediums at 88 degrees C, optimum temperature, so maybe it fluctuates a little bit between the classes, because of course the classes do have different tyre manufacturers. As we get into qualifying, I'm gonna put in 9. As we wait. There are collisions and pit lanes, so we do have to wait till we get the all clear. Oh, there's a crash behind as people were queuing. Of course, for quali, we're going to be running flat out. Thanks, Dave, for the good luck. Don't throw it too deep into T1. It'll be interesting to see. I didn't check exactly how much fuel we're using as cars all spun already. And blimey, that was not a good time to drive forward. Like, they somehow managed to thread the needle between a couple of cars, but that was an unnecessary risk from them. Car in front of us spinning round as well. Got a fellow Inter-Europol car in front of us that I'd rather be in front of, in all honesty. But there is a lot of traffic in front. Of course, tires are still somewhat cool, so we'll not be going for a push lap just yet. Take a few laps to get the tires up to temperature around this layout. While we do that, we can find some better track position. A lot of cars behind us as well. So it's a thing of good, try and back up here, but if cars just come past us, we'll sort of never get round the problem of having a car in front of us. There's someone else wanting to get better track position. Right, we've built a bit of a gap. I think it's time we start pushing for a couple of laps. Another Inter-Europol car spinning. You think the Paddock Layout's quite fun? I'm a bit mixed on it. I don't think it's that interesting. A little bit of locking on the right hand side into T1. Like, I gotta admit, I find this right-hander here very awkward with just how tight it is. Makes some decent racing. The field doesn't get too spread out. Actually, yeah, that is a fair point, because you've got a lot of straights. Oh. Talk about Inter-Europol cars spinning. There's another one. That's given us a lot of track position now. But yeah, I get what you mean. The slipstream will keep the field quite close together, which will make some good racing. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out here with fuel saving. As we come up to the line. Nearly 2 litres used, that's 0.25 extra than what our target will be in the race. Again, a little bit of locking from the right hand side. Thankfully that car waited to rejoin safely. But yeah, as a layout to drive, I kind of miss turn 4 and the S's. I think those corners are quite fun, so to not have them on this layout, and for it to have as many straights as it does, yeah, it just isn't, I don't think it's most interesting. Car in front pulls into pit lane, which means we continue to have free air, putting ourselves up to P3, half a second off the current pole time. A couple of cars coming out of pit lane in front of us. sliding around on the cold tires. Once you got used to it, you had fun with it? Yeah. It does take a good bit of getting used to, especially turn 10 or turns 9 and 10. Very difficult corners. And yeah, not the most fun, but when you learn how to do them, you can find yourself enjoying the circuit. Bit of a poor exit out of the penultimate right-hander. Better exit out of the final corner though, 1/4 of a second up. And we put ourselves up into P2 now. Oh, that's just slightly cut that too much. It went green. Oh, a little lock up though into this right-hander. Catching traffic as well. Yeah, I'm gonna bail from this lap. Bail, put on, get some new tires, try and take out a bit of fuel, don't need quite as much. Let's say that much. Tires, new mediums. And we'll get out for the second half of the session. We're within 2/10 of pole position at the moment. Quite handy. We're going to come out in a little bit of traffic here again. Okay, I'll see you at turn 1. Multiple cars crashed. This could be a spot to slot into. Gotta get pushed to get the tires up to temperature. I don't really want to have to let any more cars through. Although there is a good bit of track position actually. They're just sort of by coming up to the final corner. That's not too far back. That might be a bit of track position to consider. But we'll continue on this push lap for now. Tires aren't fully up to temperature, but we've had a good opening sector to the lap. Not the best exit from the shortcut. Partly because our tires are still cold, but we're still up on the delta. Braking a little bit too early there. Let's go and validate our lap, even though we lost time from that. Just going to back off a little bit, starting to catch cars in front. Just we'd like a bit more space. Demoted down to P3 now. getting deeper into the first corner this time. Trying to pick up the throttle a little bit too early there. Big weave from the car in front. You'd run through the penultimate corner, only half a tenth up though. A little bit of slipstream to the line, it'll be an improvement. Yeah, but ultimately we're gonna have to bail on this lap. Fastest final sector. More cars spinning at T1. And this is the track position we're going to go for. Someone didn't quite get stopped into T1 before hitting the spike car spun on the exit. That improvement though did allow us to hold on to P3. We would have dropped to P4 had we not got that lap in. So we'll start to build the speed up once again now that we've found good bit of track position. Now we've got 4 drivers out of the top 5 serving this segment of track. This is the go fast group, you could say. So we go on another lap. Oh, they'll lock up. Slight bit deep into T1. Good exit off that short chute. Look at that delta drop. Quarter of a second up as we drop to P4. On a pole contending lap here. Big lock up there. Dropped about 2.5 tenths. Still a tenth up. They really dropped to P3 by 1,000th. Lost a little bit of time in the final corner, but still enough to get us up into back to P3. One last flying lap for the session. Ah, the rear just slightly locked. And that will be our session. Not bad. Funny how we've got 2 Spike cars at the front. Spike is quite a popular livery choice, but there's 5 in the top 14 alone. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, oh well. Quality can't always be perfect. Happy enough with that. Yes, it is the LMP2s Rexy from AO Racing. And of course also run the beloved Rexy as well as Roxy that they've ran when they've had conflicting weekends. It's a really nice touch that they're like, oh right, we've got AO when AO have two GT3 or GTE races on at the same time. Instead of there just being two Rexies, it's like, okay, Rexi's racing in one place, and in the other series there's Roxy. Nice, sort of a little bit of storytelling behind the character. Yeah, their social media channels are pretty good. Yeah, quarter of a second off. Before we forget, let's put full fuel in. You see that we need to save 5 laps of fuel. That is about, over the course of the race, 8 litres. A 7-minute video of Rexy snoring before the Daytona 24. I can't. There was one I watched. I can't remember exactly what the premise was. I think it was Rexy in an office building, but I can't remember. What the exact sort of like story or premise of the video was.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
I'm gonna do something maybe a little silly. Oh, you can't. I was thinking you can maybe change the rear wing, because these options aren't grayed out. I was like, oh, can I change the rear wing? No. I thought, oh, take it down by one, reduce drag, better fuel efficiency. No. Yeah, gonna be an interesting race, this. I will say track is dropping temperature quite quickly. As soon as the session loaded there, it was 43 degrees C, already down to 42, and we know 50 minutes into the race it'll be at 40 degrees C. So track definitely getting cooler, will be getting quicker throughout the race. Maybe not, depends. Since the tires are on the cold side, it might not actually be getting quicker. But yeah, let's drive. Last time I was here, Bahrain, in an LMP2 car. Second race on this game. Stalled the car, trying to get off the start for the formation corner here at Bahrain, and ended up starting from pit lane. We shouldn't do that today. Got quite a bit more experience. As we wait for the start.
Formation lap has started.
As we get going here for the start. Yep, we will get onto the pit limiter once the speed has stabilized like it has now. I'm just playing it safe. It was giving me a little red indicator there, so just being half throttle. Try not to get any penalty. Already had murder in the background. A front right lock up. Well, we survived, which is all I wanted. And now it's straight into fuel save. I don't know how much fuel saving those around me will be doing. Which is what scares me. It's going to make it even easier for someone to just murder me. I tell you what though, I'm glad I'm not commentating on this race, because with the amount of spike liveries there are, it would be a nightmare trying to differentiate people. A little wide for the leader there. PTS Dave Monza hearing the words fuel save. Dave, gonna hear a lot about fuel saving this series. wide for... Oh, that was an illegal overtake. Fuck me. Yeah, that legal overtake. It's kind of screwed us here. Yeah, because that lost us a second plus 2 positions. Right, we're good on fuel saving that last lap. Car behind thought of going for a move, decided not to in the end. Worried about cars sort of like queuing up behind us, just waiting to overtake us if they're not fuel saving. You know, if the cars around us aren't fuel saving, then we can't afford to lose more time than we already are from fuel saving. Just need to hit our marks, hit our numbers, and we could very well win this race. On strategy. Car behind is being patient for now. How long that will last, we don't know. But we're definitely losing touch of the cars in front. Indicates that they're not fuel saving, or they're not fuel saving as much as I am. Or they're doing a better job at fuel saving. That is also an option. Little cut there. 6 track limit points for the race, that's quite a fair amount. Car behind might make a move this lap, they're much closer. The fact they weren't able to complete that move . Yeah, this is just losing me time now. Melvin being patient is rare. Hey, as long as I don't get murdered like that per Aston GT3 they murdered in Monza, I'm alright. Although ideally, I mean, what would be nice is if Elvin did just made a clean move and I used the slipstream to help fuel save. little cut. Got a bit of breathing room now to Alvin. Don't think I need to remember to fuel save there. Alvin a little bit deep. That's a little bit deep as well. Alvin went even deeper and is coming under pressure from behind. That's good for us. That allows us to build out a gap and sort of fuel save safely. Two cars setting a 116 dead in front. Little deep. Car moving around there a little bit. Oh yeah, that Brazil race. That was quite a long time ago now. I mean, luckily we were the last car on the lead lap for that race. Can brake a little bit later there. Try not to pick up unnecessary track points. Luckily it's only a quarter. Interlagos. Alvin sang a personal best. Spin for the car in front. Oh, I locked the front right there. Ran me in deep. Fuel usage 1.73, that's good, that's the right side of where we need to be. Up to lap our first car. Alvin again going for the move, getting it done this time. Much cleaner. Of course, I have no idea if these cars are fuel saving. That was a bit of a late move. Bit of poor racecraft there from the spike car trying to overtake us as we lap another one of the spike cars. One trying to stay as close as we can to Alvin. Pick up the slipstream. That will help us. Yeah, it's like that 17-8. Little bit of locking there. The car started to rotate in the braking zone. Gonna be hard to keep up with Alvin if they're not fuel saving. In which case we'll make up all the time again when they come into the pits. Still hitting our fuel number. Cars behind have dropped back a bit with their fighting. Good news for us. Wide for Alvin. It just helps us to stay in the slipstream here. Alvin definitely doing us a favor here. P4 spun in a very awkward place. Maybe the two cars fighting for P3 coming together. That's a lapped car that time. But yeah, the first car that had spun there was in a very awkward place, just on the side of the track, but I couldn't see where they were. They were just in the blind spot with the A pillar. It actually had me really worried. Like, I've no idea where this car is because I've seen them for a brief moment, so I know they're there somewhere, but I don't know where they are exactly because I can't see them. And I was worried that, oh yeah, I'm going to continue turning here and then I'm going to find them at the last moment and run into them because I couldn't see them. Two leaders have a 10-second gap on us. I'm not sure what sort of gap they would need to do a splash and dash and come out in front of us. All I can tell you is we're definitely close enough to Blomqvist in front. You used just a little, just a hint too much fuel last lap. Long pit straight on a long straight. They will lose a chunk of time, yeah, for sure. 30 seconds, I would say maybe more than that. Maybe more towards 40 seconds. I mean, for them, they need to hope that it's less than 30 seconds. They've pulled out 10 seconds in the first third of the race, which means that, you know, at this rate, you know, they're only going to pull out 30 seconds over the course of the entire race. And we're actually doing similar lap times now, so they might be fuel saving now. As you can see, Elvin doing a 16.1. I think that's further evidence of Elvin not fuel saving. Track temp already down to 39 degrees. We're looking at a 36 lap race, so once we complete 18 laps, we'll be halfway there. Half of fuel tank is 63 litres at full capacity. So at that stage, we'll be looking to have 31.5 litres. And then if we have spare fuel in the final few laps, or we think the race is only going to be 35 litres, or 35 laps, that's when we can start to, you know, use the fuel we have remaining and start pushing. Car off there, another one of the AO spike cars. Let's try and pick up a little bit of slipstream. A little wide here. Actually closed in a little bit on the leaders. So yeah, that does suggest that they are trying to save the fuel required. The interpol. We're interior pole cars spun on the right hand side again. Alright, I think this will be us completing lap 18, yes, at the end of this lap. So the goal is to have 31.5 litres, which I think we'll actually just be a little bit short on. There's 31.5. Yes, we're about 0.25 litres short. Which we'll definitely be able to save. Remember, we did have the, of course, short formation lap at the start of the race that used up a little bit of fuel. Yeah. Plenty gap behind, can just lift a little bit sooner. There's Johnny Ashley. Having made a pit stop. I wonder if he'll be quicker than us. Obviously, he'll be pushing flat out. So I wonder if he'll be quicker than us fuel saving. To lap traffic now. Of course, trying to save fuel in lap cars isn't the easiest. I'm just going to stay on the inside here. Actually, no, I've nearly forgot to fuel save there. Yeah, getting held up here, which is annoying. I assume they're gonna lift now, but I also need to lift for my fuel saving. Thankfully they started braking early. That's what I mean, it can get a bit awkward trying to lap cars when you're saving fuel. So I know I'm making it to the end of the race on fuel. Big question is everyone else in front of us? Looks like Johnny's got caught up behind the lapped cars. Minutes to go. Slight little corner cut. Another lapped car having spun. Third of the way through our track limit points, as we're nearly 2/3 of the way through the race. Just noticed in top left. Mr. Veasley has had an issue, has dropped from being about 10 seconds in front of us to only about 5. Jared in front covers eyes. Don't worry, Dave, you can look. It was surprisingly very sensible. That's a very messy corner. Was a little late on the brakes and then shifted down to first. Coopy versus Coopy lapping you. I'm sure you have the common sense to not cause any issues when being lapped. Oh, that's a cut. Only a quarter point. That's not bad. I mean, getting lapped isn't hard, it's just by having some common sense. And awareness. As we see another lapped car now. P16 getting lapped. Oh, I stole the car from that. It's only from bumper damage, so it should be fine. But I'm in a pack of cars now, which isn't ideal. I mean, if everyone else pits, I can still win this race. But if the other people have been fuel-saving enough, then yeah, I've just thrown this race away. I've got flat spots to can fill them. Ah. 25 seconds off the lead now. That's definitely close enough. What is that rejoin? Yes. I did do a day avoid. Wasn't as bad though. I don't think the car in front was fuel saving there. Sometimes it's hard to say with the slower cars, are they fuel saving or are they just a bit slower? A little over 10 minutes left in the race. I'm annoyed at that. I do just need to be a little cautious, because it does, that obviously did use a bit of fuel. But like I used 1.66 litres last lap. So 10 minutes to go, 15.7 litres of fuel remaining. I can confirm with the pace that the leaders had, this race won't be 37 laps. So we're in the good there. And if the leader was going quick enough to make a 37 lap race, they'd have to pit for fuel anyway. And so it wouldn't be 37 laps anymore. No, I don't think these two cars in front of me are fuel saving, which is good. I'm so annoyed. So annoyed at that mistake. Lose concentration for one corner and you throw it away. Yeah, you can see in coming up to the braking zone, we drop back from the car in front and then we close up a little bit again in the braking zone. That is evidence that they are not fuel saving. 12.25 is our target number for the end of this lap. Car in front coming into the pits. I mean, that gap looked to be about 25 seconds from the moment I had the spin. And the gap, when I was fuel saving, the gap wasn't increasing. It was about sort of a steady 10 seconds before I had the spin. So I think they are fuel saving at the front. Big puff of smoke in there. Is fuel saving, you're in a VC with them. Yeah. I'm not surprised at all. I imagine the reason why he's able to pick up like 10 seconds at the start of the race is we see another car come into the pits. That's not for position. I was sort of having to fight the first cars that weren't fuel saving. That'll be a track limit. Johnny is going to kindly let us go through. I hope he doesn't end up being quicker than me, since I'm fuel saving. But we're starting to get to that point of those that have been pushing flat out will need to pit now. Goes another car, 9 liters. We have a little bit of fuel to spare, which we might use to try and take P5 here. So I threw away about 15 seconds with that spin. Yeah, look how much we're catching the car in front now. They're having to fuel save more than I am. 9/10 quicker that lap. And all I need to do is, at one point, to decide that I'm not going to fuel save for a corner and get the move done when we're in the right position. Not even halfway through our track limit points. We're fine. You can tell the car behind is pushing flat out. And just like that. Don't know why the crew are ready for a pit stop. Not pitting. There'll be 2 laps to go here, which will need 3.5 litres at our current fuel save rate. Hearn into the pits, that's another place. 2 seconds quicker than Blomqvist, probably because they're trying to fuel save. Oops. That was a big oops moment. Blomqvist has been saving a lot of fuel to try and make sure they can get to the end. So I think he will be alright. We are closing up a lot though. Time has run out, but the leaders have started one more lap. Look at that, we've closed in so much. We have 2 leaders here for the final lap, so we can pretty much go flat out. Elvin is having... I think Elvin might be out of fuel. This race isn't over yet. At P2, Shully has saved enough fuel. I'm just going to lift here to make sure I am safe. Half a litre. .1 on the line. I could have won that race. I should have won that. And that's the final bit of fuel. I lost 15 seconds with that spin. I finished 12 seconds off the lead. That should have been a win. That should have been a win. fuel saving was the right strategy, but you needed to commit to it from the very first lap. You needed to hit your numbers. And those that did not hit their numbers at the start of the race, they paid the consequence at the end. I mean, look, Wiesly there, 35 seconds off the lead. Blomqvist might not even finish the final lap, and that's dropped them down to P10. Yeah, Blomqvist didn't even make the line on the final lap. There was there was that doubt throughout the race, like who's pitting, who isn't, and it seemed like it seemed like no one was gonna pit, and then gradually a couple of people came in, but a few people stand out. But yeah. Yeah, and there's Rexy. How appropriate. We go from race with 8 spikes, and we load into Rexy on the main menu screen. Oh, I'm annoyed. The thing is, that is only really going to happen once here. Now that we've done that race, everyone knows that if you want to win the race, you've got to fuel save. So everyone that made the mistake there of not fuel saving enough that race. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too annoyed. I just sort of lost concentration. I sort of getting into too much of a comfortable rhythm, sort of lost concentration. Then I'm like, oh, I'm running wide here. And you think it's like, okay, right, and you think, right, you keep the car straight enough, and you're like, right, I should be fine here. You know, the TC should be fine. And then, but there's no grip out there, no grip whatsoever. It really does surprise you just um, how quickly the rear end just, well, not necessarily quickly. You're just really not expecting the rear end to slide round on you, but it does. I mean, luckily I was able to sort of catch it early enough. I mean, I didn't catch it, but I had it so that the contact with the wall wasn't heavy, wasn't too heavy, so I didn't have too much damage, and the car felt fine. Once the rear goes in the prototypes, yeah, it's almost impossible to save. Yeah, it's especially on a low grip surface like that when you're wide off a corner. Yeah, it's so difficult, you know. Yeah, it's practically impossible. You don't have the grip for it. As always, go finish off here with the Art of Rally daily event. We did the weekly event back on Tuesday, so we did after the Formula E race. Currently sitting 44th. Would like to be a little higher up, but oh well. Good race, so yeah. I'm happy with that. You know, I hit my number. You know, I knew what I needed to do. I mean, it helped that I certainly had what 3 or 4 LMP 45-minute LMP2 races under my belt. I knew exactly what I needed to do for the fuel save. And I assume everyone else was doing their first 45-minute race in an LMP2 car, so you know they were always going to learn that. Oh yeah, the fuel saving is serious for those races. Yeah, so the experience certainly helped out there. We have a Group S car for a short stage round Germany, 4.2 kilometers on tarmac. Car's not quite coming to me. I know I've been told what this car is a few times, but I'm not recalling its name. Got some wet conditions too. Nearly sliding into that hay bale. Just zoom the rear end a little bit, trying to put down a bit of power between the two 90-degree corners there. Get the car slowed down after that jump. Already about halfway through the stage. Been mostly neat and tidy. Used a little bit of handbrake there, just to get the car rotated around the hay bale. Little chicane coming up that the spectators are slightly obscuring. Just a few corners to go here. $153.9, and that's 19th, top 5%. That's a good run through. Only 6 seconds off the fastest time so far. I will take that indeed. That was a good run through indeed. Nice little bit to finish Art of Rally after what was a good Le Mans Ultimate race. Oops, there we go. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed at that mistake. I mean, ultimately it did cost me the win there. But the pace was good. The pace was definitely good. The potential to win races throughout the next 3 rounds is there, I would say. And speaking of, for the remainder of the series, next week we will be at the Circuit of the Americas around the national circuit. First time I'm actually racing around Dakota on this game entirely, let alone the shorter version. A little disappointed it's my first race around Coda in this game is going to be the shorter track. But yeah, that's the way it is. Then the week after, a couple of weeks' time, we'll be at the Sebring School Circuit, another one of the new short tracks that was added about a month ago now. And then the final round will be at Imola, which of course was meant to be our first round of the Monday series a little while ago that we did with the same format, but we weren't able to join in on because of server limitations. So it'll be nice to actually get to run that race. I know that's another difficult one on the fuel save that really does need a lot of fuel save. We'll have to see how Coda and Sebring fare. But yeah, fun racing tonight. That's another short stream, a little over an hour and a half. But packed with a good race. So yeah, as mentioned, we'll be back next week on Friday again, 7:30 p.m. UK time. And I think next week will be the last week before the UK goes into daylight savings. So that is something to note if you are outside of a country that's also switching to daylight savings at the same time. But we'll also be back next Tuesday at about 7:45 p.m. UK time for the second round of the Formula E series. That's at a track called Hamburg Harbour, which is quite interesting. It was very interesting first week at Long Beach, so hopefully it'll be another interesting week again. 2 30-minute races for that, the second of which being a reverse grid. So that should be good fun. But yeah, and then we'll probably try and fit some WRC in as well. Maybe try and get some in tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see. You have to find some time to run some events. I've been missing some recently. I haven't found the time for WRC, and so yeah, we'd like to get back to it again. But yeah, just a little busy at the moment. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this stream. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Geeky, for chatting away. Thank you to anyone else that was lurking around in for the stream. Hopefully, I'll see you next week for our couple of AC and LMU races, as well as for some WRC whenever that gets booked in, scheduled. We'll see when that is. But yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you next week. But in the meantime, take care, have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.